Here's some tips while you're doing the tour with Grandpa. Now I know I said in the previous video that I'd leave you to do the tour with Grandpa, but I found that there's some areas where you need some extra tips, so I'll walk you through those. I haven't recorded Grandpa talking in this video either, because I think that's something that you need to experience for yourself when you do the tour. So I'm just going to unhitch the cultivator here, and Grandpa wants us to pick up another piece of equipment inside the barn. For those of you starting out, this is quite a tricky maneuver, backing into the barn, and because the piece of equipment is on an angle and you need to hook up on the angle. Just to note that parts of this tour have got areas where it's automatically done for you. So for example, what you would normally do outside of this tour is push in to open the lid of the seeder, but the tour does this for you. Now tip 1, make sure you fill the seed to the top. So you got to wait for the lids to close. Now normally you would close the lids by pressing in again, but this is all automated for you. Now because we've just finished cultivating the field, you would think the next step of the tour would be to plant seed in the same field, right? So this one out in front. No, you got to go to the icon where Grandpa is, and this is the field where Grandpa wants us to plant seed. The purpose of the guided tour from Grandpa is to give us some advice before we actually go out solo on our own. So he runs us through some instructions, let us know what to do, how to use the equipment, etc. So again, I'll let you find out this from doing the tour yourself and listen to Grandpa. But what I do is I normally straighten up before I actually turn the equipment on and lower it. So I'm going to maneuver the tractor and the seeder and make sure I'm close enough to the edge where I want to start planting the seed. So let me just get into position. Okay, so once in position, you do V to lower your machine and then B to turn it on. What you'll find is that Grandpa's going to be quite happy with you doing this first pass. So the guided tour is going to stop you partway through going down this section of the field. So Grandpa starts talking about the weather and getting extra help. You can't do it all by yourself before the weather comes in. So he will advise you on how to get somebody to come in to help. So at this stage I've pressed H which has put a hired worker in there. Now you'll note that you can't push E to get out of the vehicle. So you've got to push tab. So that's tip number 3, tab, not E. This will put you into the next vehicle. The next thing Grandpa wants us to do is learn how to harvest. So this is why he's asked us to get into the harvester. And you would think that once you drive out from this shed, that the field right in front of you is going to be the field that you're going to harvest, right? No, you got to maneuver your harvester around until you see the icon. So there it is in the distance. So start heading towards the icon. You'll notice that it will start shifting. Now, Grandpa advised us to be very careful with the harvester because it's quite a beast. And if you're like me, I take a shortcut down here. You can do this as well, but be careful you don't roll it because there's slope on that bank. Otherwise, follow the road down until the bank is quite even with the road, and then come off road and enter the field. So we're going to go up to where the icon is and find out what Grandpa, what advice and instructions Grandpa has. So with the harvester, there's a header on the back of the trailer, so we need to detach. And then my next tip is you need to approach so that your front of your harvester is centered with that icon. So this is tip number 5. As you can see, I am not centered and I need to come across to the left. So if you've done the same, just keep maneuvering until your front of your harvester is centered, then you can attach. From here, Grandpa gives you a few more instructions on how to use the harvester and prepare it before you actually go and harvest. Tip number 6, once you're attached, you need to reverse. Otherwise, you will run over the trailer. So throughout the guided tour, you need to keep looking for these icons where you need to either position equipment or approach it yourself. And again, once you've hit the icon, then Grandpa gives us some tips and advice. Now, I needed to put this tip in here because it wasn't included in the instructions. Maybe when there's some bug fixes, etc., some updates, maybe they'll put this in. But to use the header, they said to push B. But they haven't said that you also got to lower it. So tip number 7, press V to lower the header. I'll just fast forward that so you don't have to sit through me doing the harvest. And you'll see progress top right. So it's considered complete and we get another set of instructions. If you're like me though, I like to have everything finished, and there's some product there that I haven't harvested yet. So I want to finish that off before I move on to the next part of the guided tour. So O to put the pipe out. And then tab to get into the next vehicle, and again we're going to follow the icon. This time I'm not going to be so reckless as going down that bank. I'm going to go to the towards the end of the road, and then pop across where the field is even with the road. Then I'm going to swing around because you do need to approach the harvester from the driver's side. Now the guided tour gets you to stop prior to lining up with the pipe, because we just need to get a few more tips and instructions. And then, as you can see, there's an icon now for us to pull forward, and we line up the trailer underneath the pipe. So once we receive instructions on where to go to offload our trailer load, we're told where to go, but we don't know how to get there. So this is going to be my next tip on how do we find out to get from where we are to where we need to be. So tip number 8. Make the map larger, so press 9 on your keyboard. You'll see a flashing red circle. This will keep flashing until we've reached the destination. So we're here, and we need to get to that flashing red circle. So we're going to keep watching the map and follow the road to get to the destination. Now the icon that appears in front of us, that's as the crow flies. We can't actually just follow it directly. We've got to stick to the road. So let me just speed up the video clip, and I'll meet you there. Alright, so we're nearly there. What we need to do is close the map, so press 9, and this will remove the map off screen. Now I've come in a little bit too sharp here. So we line up with the drop-off point and hit that icon again, receive the next set of instructions. Alright, I'm just going to pull forward a little bit, and then I to unload. And because we're new to this map, I suggest putting the insert map up again, so press 9 until it's large enough for you to follow. Now we have a choice. We can go back the way we came, or be a little bit adventurous and go a different way back to the farm. The opportunity is to see more of the map, see what it's like when we go in a different direction. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop down here. I'll speed up the video and let's enjoy the scenery. So when we approach this area here, it feels like it's going to be a dead end, but let me reassure you, you can ride through here. Keep following the road. Now, watch out for the stop sign, because we have approached the end of the map, so we can't go any further. So our only choice is to take the road to the left. Keep watching your map. Now it's a little bit like Spaghetti Junction around here, and a matter of taking the right turn, or in this case the left turn, to get back on track. So we've got the icon in front of us, so we know that we are heading in the right direction at least. And top right again is our progress, so we're nearing the end of this task, and just ahead is the driveway to Grandpa's place, which has now become ours. So we'll just pull into the driveway on the right. Now if you decided to come back the way that you went, you'll be approaching from the opposite direction. Just note that the Grandpa will be on your right when you come in. Alright, so we closed down the map a little bit, and now you can press E to get out of the vehicle. Now, tip number 9, you need to approach Grandpa straight on. So I'm on an angle and the trigger doesn't work. So you need to maneuver yourself until you're directly in front of Grandpa. So this angle is not correct. So this is correct. So once you're straight on with Grandpa, then he will start his conversation, and I'll let you to find out what he says. I know I've got his transcript up on screen, but like I said in my previous video, it's nicer if you experience this rather than through somebody else's video. I reckon this experience should be one-on-one with Grandpa. Thank you for watching.